Good morning, everybody. What is up? Just woke up. In the car, letting it warm up and shit. I'm about to head over to around Dave's place, like around Miramar and stuff. We're gonna do a couple things before we head up north, and then yeah, we're gonna go up to Rad Industries, and we're gonna pick up Great White. If you guys didn't know as well, it is a 92 EG, fully done, fully built. It just got a roll cage and a bunch of fabrication done at Rad Industries. So it's very, very like well taken care of. It looks amazing. I'll show you guys a little bit more. Let me stop talking about it, but I'll show you guys a little bit more when we get over there. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Not for real though. Like
just made it to Rad Industries.
Rad Dad, yo, we out here, Cab Detailing. Come follow us. Come, get your car clean.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Guess whose cars this is? Damn. That actually looks better in person.
Spacer.
Right?
What's up, man?
Fucking A.
Crash, whatever, I'm not really doing that right now.
It's actually pretty clean. I thought it was like kind of garbage, you know? It looks pretty clean. Damn. That rear bumper gotta go though. Look at that shit. This is what I'm talking about right here. This thing's crazy.
I'm in the powder coating Kevin. I see it's like 6,500 colors flashing through my face. Yeah.
Rolling coats in the house.
Purple. That's all I gotta say.
I forgot to press record. So we're probably gonna get some food now and chill for a little bit, and then we're gonna head back. Yanni, ridiculous. All right, guys, I'll see y'all soon. It's going home back to SD now. It's monster. You guys want any updates on this? Let me know. Comments below. And I'll make sure fucking anytime Dave's doing something, I'll fucking go and help his ass out and shit. And that's how you do it. How does it feel?
Different.
Yeah?
Turn back into my job.
Fucking Wayne's kicked my ass right now. Holy shit.
Alright guys, so I'm here with Dave. We just got back from Rad Industries picking up Great White, as you guys saw earlier. I'm gonna ask Dave a couple questions, see what he could tell us about his build and his little history on racing. Alright, let's see what he got to say. Dave, Q&A. Let's get this. Alright man, so what got you into drag racing?
Shit. Well, about 16 years old, I got my first car. Got pulled over, like, probably within a year. I did 107 and a 55. Drag racing started maybe around 19 years old. I bought my first manual car, which was a 2006 WRX. It had a bunch of like STI bolt-ons. I didn't know what I was buying. It had so many problems. But I used to like driving the absolute piss out of it. Ended up really wasn't for me. Started having some problems. Didn't really want to pay for them. So I ended up putting it on Craigslist. I got a lot more money than I paid for it. So I had some extra spending money. My buddy was like, hey guy, my buddy's selling a 99 EM1 up like 2 hours north. You want to go check it out? I was like, sure, whatever. Hondas. Like, never really liked Hondas. Never was like, you know, for or against them. And I took this car out for a test drive, and the dude, it had a B20 VTEC in it, and this dude was like, yo, hit it. Like, this shit goes to like 8,500, and I was like, all right. Like, been driving manual for like 6 months at this point, and he's like, you got to take it all the way. So I was like, cool, let's do it. I was like, love it first drive. And then I bought this car. It's a 1992 Honda Civic VX hatchback. So it didn't come factory with AC, didn't come factory with power steering, has roll-up windows, like the base model car. Like, this car came with no like added creature comforts. And it came with a turbo B18. I started bolting on parts to it, found out that I could start beating Mustangs, I could start beating Camaros, I could start beating Vettes. So then I started like wanting to do more of like the drag racing, the higher horsepower. Before the B18 that in this car blew up, it made 400 horsepower. And my fastest pass, full weight, was like 11.3 at 126 or something like that. Like full weight car, like not really knowing how to drag race yet. But it took a lot of time. It took about 1.5 years to like really know how to count the tree down, like really understand what I was doing. And you know, I had a lot of trial and error of buying cheap parts because that's what my budget could afford. But as you can kind of see, I went all out with quality parts this time. Do it right the first time. That's all I can say. So that's really where drag racing started, from like being a kid.
Alright Dave, so why an EG hatch?
Honestly, like, I love the way they look. I love like I mean, she's dirty as absolute all hell right now, but like, I love the way that the EG sits. Like, I like the way that they look in the front. You could put a fat tire on them and they just look mean, like, compared to the other like Hondas of that era. I ended up finding this car for $3,500 with a junkyard LS in it. It had a B18 head on it, just stock manifold, the crap like turbo log manifold. It was just junk. Dude didn't know what he was doing. There was no blow-off valve on the intercooler piping. Like, it had a blown 50 trim turbo on it. Like, probably paid too much for it, but where I lived at the time, you know, it was one of the nicer cars.
Alright Dave, so why a J series?
Well, so the B18, I ended up like melting a piston because I was getting ready to move to come out here to Cali, and this dude with a Corvette on spray was like, you know, he never beat me at the track, and he was like, let's do like one last hit out on the street. So like, shit, I cannot leave this town losing. So I like went in my engine bay and like 2 or 3 clicks on my manual boost controller, like I was like, I need to beat this dude. And I ended up pushing like 21 pounds on a stock bottom end LS, and it just fried the bottom end. The J series came after I decided. I bought all these parts for a B series, excuse me, and I was like, everybody does a B series. Like, it's been proven. It's proven its worth. And then I bought my RSX. It has a K series in it, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna do a K series. That'd be sweet. And I realized everybody does K series. So what attracted me to the J series was it's like the new platform. Imagine ourselves in 1999, you know, putting the first B series into a EG hatch. Like, it's like just beginning. Like there's no, the parts that get made for B series, like you can literally build a B series or a K series without having to like buy an OEM part. But for these, like there's still no crank pulleys for them. There's still no like really good headers for them. The 850 fab headers that are on this car, they're like one of a kind. Like there's maybe 2 other companies that make like turbo headers for these motors. Everything is custom, so it's an up and coming swap, and I just wanted to be like one of the pioneers to be there when it all started.
All right, Dave. So what's all done to the J series and by who?
The head, they got done at Portflow. The block is done at Ken Racing Engine. Basically, it's going to be a stock J35 A1 bottom end and J32 heads, stock cam, stock crank, stock piston, stock rods. It has SuperTech springs and retainers. It has H22 head studs. It's going to have the H22 style manual tensioner, timing belt tensioner. It's got the Holley EFI on it, a 90mm throttle body. Then I'm using the B series TPS adapter, K series idle air control valve. But for the most part, it's like super stock.
All right. So what kind of turbo and hot parts, intercooler, radiator do you have?
So I went with the BorgWarner 9180. It's the biggest EFR. It's a 67mm turbo, the 1.05 A over R. It's like a dual row ball bearing like cartridge that works with these. So like the failure, I guess, is that's not catastrophic. Treadstone, 5-inch thick intercooler. Hot parts. I got the Precision Turbo dual 60mm wastegates. I think that's it. This is totally custom. The headers are from 850 Fab out of Pensacola, Florida. That dude does killer work. Ended up, this is like maybe like less than half a dozen of these have ever been made. So most of the J series guys go like with some weird, like, no pun intended, but like a J manifold. But these are like a one of their kind of thing.
Where's the radiator mounted and why?
Behind the front bumper, the manifolds stick out so far. They stick out to like right about here. And with the intercooler being so thick, there was no room in the front. So Dan up at Rad Industries, he gave me a call one day and was like, "Hey man, like, there's no room for radiator. You can't put it here where the normal guys put it because we have your turbo. We can't put it like laying down because there's not enough ground clearance. We can't stick it over here because we've relocated the alternator from up here to down there." So they were like, "Would you be willing to do a rear-mounted radiator?" And I was like, "I don't know." They were like, "We've done it before. Like, this is a big common thing on drift cars." And I was like, "Sure, let's do it." So I got a AFCO dual pass, dual core radiator in the rear, and a Durali fan shroud kit with two 2200cc fans in the back. And then I'm going to go up here to Miser in Escondido, the water pumps, and I'm going to look for something that I can use in line because the factory J-Series water pump will not be able to pump water all the way to the back and then back up. It's just not powerful enough. It won't flow enough.
What kind of ECU and what's your suspension setup on the car?
So right now it has the Blocks drag coilovers. They're 12K in the front and 18K in the rear. With these coilovers, it's nice and stiff in the front, so there's no wheel hop. And then in the back, it doesn't allow the car to squat and lift the front end up, so these coilovers have been really good for me. AEM V2 ECU, it's not Infinity because this is, again, like we've talked about already, it's the very beginning of the J series, so the ECUs are limited. What we can use is very limited. And then the harness is a standalone harness from TuckTech in Ohio. This dude is absolutely killing it.
What's your drivetrain looking like to hold the power?
So it's a, as of right now, it's a factory TLS, TL Type S transmission 6-speed. I bought the Power of Racing 6th gear cuff, so I lose 6th gear, so it's only going to be a 5-speed, but that kind of strengthens the gears. I have a super secret 4th gear that I can't really talk about. I have billet shift forks that are beefed up. They're a lot thicker than the factory ones, so they won't bend. Basically factory gears, factory synchros, factory LSD, and this should hold the power that I'm hoping to put down.
Alright, man, I know you're tired and everything, and you answered all these damn questions and everything for me, but who would you like to thank?
Shit, everybody that has helped me out. Sean at Power of Racing, Ken from Ken's Race Engines, Portflow, Tri-State Motorsports. Shit, I got a lot of people. Oh, Frank's front end. Frank, obviously. Frank's. This is the V2 front end. That's what it is. Frank's custom fiberglass front ends. Kirky, they definitely helped me out. Rad Industries for building all that stuff. Pan Auto for getting me really good prices on all this stuff. Yeah, again, Rad Industries, like, look at the cage work, look at all of the fabrication, like, these dudes killed it. They have been a really big influential part of this build, and it's definitely a one-off custom car.
Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. All the Q&A that I had Dave answer for me. I'm really grateful and thankful that he actually took time and answered those questions for me. If anybody did have questions about his build, there you go. Oh, they're answered, and if they're not, just leave your question down in the comments below, and I'll make sure to ask him, and probably I'll upload that in the next video. But I hope to see you guys next time, and if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. All right, deuces, one love. Oh, and also before I forget, check out his Instagram. It is at 92boosted. All right, check it out, and let him know what you guys think. See ya.